You want to know something really cool, y'all? I don't care about winning. I just played 2 rounds of cards with my family, back to back, and neither time did I give a fuck about winning. The first time I lost miserably, like I was the number 1 loser, and I told them that that's exactly what I was going for. Now the second time, I believe that I did considerably better than the first time. Mainly because I understood the objective of the game way more. But I'm pretty sure that if I played actual cards, like, you know how they have those TV shows where they, like, film people playing cards, as if that's interesting, but you have several people that wear sunglasses and hats and, like, all kinds of, you know, crazy getup in order to, like, detract from, like, I guess, like, their reaction to their hand. Yeah, I wonder how I would be on a show like that. Because, like, people kept telling me that I had to, like, hold my cards close to my chest. Because I just didn't care, you know? Like, you know, people can cheat. Like, whenever they know the cards that are in your hand, they can cheat based off of that. But, like, not caring about the game at all. Well, I was thinking about this. Like, I was thinking about all kinds of, like, psychological shit. Like, really, really deep shit when I was playing cards with my family. Because that's the kind of person we are. We study the social interactions. And my brother admitted that he's, like, a narcissist tonight, which is good for him since he doesn't have self-awareness. But he was taking everything personally. Like, my mom would ask him a question and he would get defensive about it. And then my dad would try to joke with him and he would, like, get offended. I think that the jibby jab has made everybody, like, more whatever shitty thing they already were. Okay? So if you were already easily agitated, now, thanks to the jibby jab, that's the thing that they jab you with, you know, that shot that everybody keeps forgetting about. Well, it's definitely, like, added this extra oomph to people's bad behavior, I would say. So yeah, it's like if you're already, like, annoyed or agitated, you get pissed off really easily, you know, it's going to be a lot worse. And I just know that from, like, observing people's behavior that have taken, that they are, like, more easily agitated. But what do I know? I'm just in constant observation mode, and I'm paying attention to things that the rest of society discards because they don't have a necessity for useful information. You know, I just want to show you guys the beautiful lighting display of my town. It actually is very pretty. See, we're about to embark into the territory of, like, legit downtown Spring Hill. For those of you that don't know, that's this little community about 40 minutes south of Nashville. This isn't the community I grew up in. I grew up in Franklin, which is about 20 minutes north of here, but we hate Franklin so much. This town is, like, expanding on the same level. Like, all these towns are expanding. Like, all these small towns are just getting bigger and bigger thanks to immigration and all these cities that are run by Democrats completely falling apart, and now you have all these people that are leaving the blue states and coming here to pollute our state with their bullshit liberalism. And I'm not saying I have any hope or faith in Bill Lee, okay? He just put in a fuck ton of money to increase the police force. Can't wait for that shit, right? I mean, Tennessee's always been, like, pretty, like, police friendly, you know? It's not one of those, like, states where they're trying to, what were they doing in, like, Detroit? Defund the police. Yeah, they're not defunding the police here. They're, like, reinforcing state control, okay? The thing is, if they defund the police in these blue states, what that means is that they're just going to replace them with women that do social work, as if that's not already terrible enough. They're literally running a sex trafficking ring, and it's through foster care. Like, they sell all those foster kids and pimp them out for sex traffickers. If you think about it, it makes so much sense, because if the kid is already used to being nothing more than a paycheck, why wouldn't they be the perfect candidate for a sex trafficker? Because, you know, they're used to being just a piece of ass for a bunch of creepy, good-for-nothing scumbags that are probably in politics. Politics and the industries, the big wigs. You know, if you got money, you can rape a child. It's like really, really easy in this country, you know? Love this country, though. Love it, love it, love it! Freedom! Freedom! Love it so much! Anyway. And so I think that people such as myself, we have a heart for, you know, fucked up shit that happens to children. No, as we should. I think it's pretty messed up that, like, people don't care about that, or they turn a blind eye to it. I realize that, like, you can't do anything about it. You know, you can't do anything about, like, the fact that that's actually happening. But what you can do is, like, not give your money to those pieces of shit and not vote. If you vote in this country and you spend a lot of money in this country, you're essentially fostering this whole system. You know? You're enabling it. And the only reason why people do that is because, like, they want to fit in and get their American flag sticker, you know? They don't care if those politicians actually do what they say, because they never fucking do. They don't care if they do the opposite of what they say. They don't care if all their politicians rape children. They don't care. As long as they don't have to think about it, as long as that doesn't interrupt their fucking television program, they don't give a shit. And I guarantee you, even if it was their kid, I know this sounds fucked up, man, but it's true. I mean, you see the kinds of shit that they allow kids to do, the kind of stuff they allow their kids to wear, the kind of stuff they allow their kids to access on the internet. They don't care. I would say most parents in America, I think we throw that word around a little too loosely. I feel like the only way you can call yourself a parent is if you don't have a TV, but I know my standards are high. And people would say, well, you don't have kids, so shut the fuck up. You're damn right I don't have kids, because I know how to, like, not have sex when I'm most fertile, you know? And when I know how my menstrual cycle works, unlike, you know, the majority of women that exist on planet Earth today, when I understand how my menstrual cycle works, I know, okay, if I have sex from this time to this time, I'm a lot more likely to get pregnant, and that's not what I want to happen, so I'm not going to do that, because I have something called self-control, thanks to self-awareness, which, once again, most women don't possess, okay? Leave me alone. Anyway, I like kids a lot. I think they're fun, they're really funny, and amazing and brilliant. One of the main reasons why I don't want to have anything to do with that is because, like, I know what the government does, especially to white kids, okay? Not good. It's not good at all. So, anybody that's, like, making a case for that, like, they clearly don't know what this country's all about. They don't know what happens to poor kids. And, like, I'm on the poverty line. Like, I know my parents are really well off, but, you know, I haven't made very good decisions, so I'm not, you know, I'm really lucky to be in the situation I'm in. Like, seriously. I've always been taken care of. Because I have been totally reckless and irresponsible. I will admit that shit. I work. I believe in working. Especially, like, having schizophrenia. It's like, everybody assumes that I should be on medication and on disability and all that shit. But no, fuck you, and fuck you again. You're only disabled if you want to be disabled. Because there are plenty of people that have legit disability and they don't act that way. And I think that's total bullshit. People just milking the system any way they can so that they can just get free money and not have to do diddly squat. You know, you definitely see it with the whole COVID pandemic or whatever. People just milking the system because they didn't want to work. And I don't think it's just because people don't want to work. It's because they're addicted to their phones. And so they're so dependent on it, they would much rather be in a position where they don't have to work. They can just sit on their phone all fucking day. Okay? That's what they want. They chose to do that. It's not shocking at all. Like, so many people are so shocked by this. But, like, I work at a restaurant that's essentially boot camp, and I've seen so many people leave that shithole because they can't handle the workload. Now, I gotta say, I've left it twice. There's a reason why we come back. Third time's the charm, right? Well, I know that if I leave, I'm just gonna come back again. So no matter how fed up I get with it, I think this third time that I've come back, it's like, I know that I'm not gonna leave. Like, there's a reason why I keep coming back to it. You know? I feel the same way about Steak and Shake that I do about marijuana. It's just, it's a part of me, man. It's in my head. But, yeah. It's really important that you appreciate the things that taught you a lot. And you appreciate the people that help you out. And I think that I do appreciate my family a lot. But me and my brother were like night and day, man. Even though night and day are the same to God. So maybe I shouldn't use that metaphor. But we're very, very different. Let's say that. We're like polar opposites. But yeah, I mean, he admitted tonight that he was like narcissistic in all of his decision making. Because all he cares about is his image and his social status and making money and all that, you know? I mean, like, the girl that he's with, she's alright. She's not terrible, but it's like, I can see, like, what that attraction is between the two of them. You ever, like, meet a couple and you're like, wow, they seem like they make each other miserable, but at the same time, this totally makes sense. You know? Like, I can't see them ever leaving each other because they're too alike. But because they're too alike, they probably get on each other's nerves like my parents do all the time. But I was noticing their dynamic tonight, and I was like, well, when they get along, they seem to get along really well. But that's also because they have all this history together, and they actually remember quite a few things. But I think that the reason for that is because they don't stare at screens the way that the rest of their generation does, and the rest of all the generations do. Okay, my parents are like, that is the one cool thing about them. Like, I can always count on that. Whenever I come home, they're not going to be on their phones. My mom has an iPad, but she's not going to be on it when she's talking to me. So that's really comforting. I know they watch TV and they read the newspaper. We forgive them for that shit. But yeah, at least they're not addicted to phones. That's good. But yeah, like tonight when we were playing cards, my dad and I were the only ones that didn't have a smartphone next to us. But we also don't have one. So, booyah. It's good to be weird. It's good to be weird if you're weird for the right reason. And not just like I'm gonna be weird to be, you know, mean or, you know, I'm gonna be different. Like I don't have to try to be different like I already am, you know. So sorry, I'm looking for something. I always do this. I always lose something. I'll be